Good evening, girls and guys, and welcome to another episode of On the Couch with Warren and Melissa. Today we've got someone that we've been hinting at we're going to get for a very long time, a certain Mr. Patrick Roberts. And some of you might know him as the trail builder on the Tygerberg Trails. We know him as many other names, but I'm not going to get into that. But welcome, Patrick. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob. Cool to be here. I mean, I've checked all your stuff out and never realized what went on behind it, but it's pretty awesome. Nice to be here.
You're always in front of the camera, not behind the camera.
Yeah, I know.
So now you get to see what happens behind.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah, but thank you. How did it all get started? Like, I mean, obviously you didn't study to be a trail builder.
Yeah, you won't believe what I actually studied. I'm actually a qualified quantity surveyor, believe it or not, yeah, for my sins. I got involved with construction, high level, moved on from quantity surveying onto project management, did a lot of high level project management contracts.
I don't see you as someone who sits behind a laptop.
So after my 45th millionth construction meeting lasting 4 hours 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, I eventually decided construction was not for me, and I cut it all and disappeared to Spain. Got out of the corporate world in essence, because it was it was killing me, and went to Spain for 2 years, and absolutely did nothing in Spain other than ride my bike and learn how to start building a bit of trails and that type of thing. And that's how
hold on. So you resigned?
Yeah.
And you left?
I left. I got off to Valencia, España. Learned a bit of Spanish. Rode a lot in Spain. The
This
mountains.
is what dreams are made of.
I know, no. Spain was unbelievable. The riding in Spain with a bunch of what I call los hombres, the boys. And they took me to places in Spain, Valencia, where very few people have been, riding mountain bikes. It was an absolute jewel, and their thing was a Sunday ride, and those Sunday rides were just absolutely amazing. The mountains they took me to, the little villages and all that type of thing. And I got super thin, super fast, and super good on a bike. Those were the good days.
So, okay, but before you went to Valencia and while you were project managing things, did you ride any bikes?
Yeah, I think my first bike was probably 2008. That's about 2 years before I quit the corporate world. I bought myself down at City Cycles here at Century City, just around the corner, a good old mongoose Tayax, super Tayax, with about 100 mil suspension. The first suspension bike I ever ridden, I thought I was King Kong. I thought I was the meanest, coolest looking dude on a mountain bike. Yeah, so I started riding, fiddling around, like we all did basically in this area.
Yes.
We started basically out of Coburg, riding Coburg, flat, and you progressed from Coburg to Magic Forest.
Because there was nothing else back in the day.
Nothing else. It was just Magic Forest. And you're progressing from Coburg to Magic Forest, where you had your first bermed switchback, that type of thing. When you go around the switchback and you almost died, you think, this is hectic, this is incredible, I can't do this, and whatnot.
Who built those trails, though? Because obviously there were people building back then already.
Yeah, it was the Tygerberg Mountain Bike Club actually started building in Magic Forest, believe it or not. Adrian started building. That was their trail basically.
Okay.
What the Tygerberg Mountain Bike Club.
So they started with one trail.
Yeah, and branched eventually out onto. They went from Magic Forest onto Hillcrest was the next one. That Hillcrest, the red route, the Roy-Cut route. That was the other thing. And believe me, in the days, that was the most technical trail you come across. You go, I'll never forget. The first time I went up there, I said to a guy in the parking lot, well, where does this trail go? He says, no, it goes up there. And you get to the top and you got this switchback. That is scary. It is scary like hell. It was scary.
But it's still a beautiful piece of track, even to today's standards.
It has not changed an iota, Hillcrest, because we're not allowed to change it, because Hillcrest signed an agreement with Cape Nature saying that because that's pristine A-grade Renosterveld. You don't get all the wild olive trees and all that type of thing and whatnot. It's A-grade Renosterveld.
So they're not allowed to farm. They're not allowed to do anything. I mean, that is it needs to stay in that exact condition all year round, all the time.
Absolutely, we're not allowed to take poison up there. We're not allowed to change anything. That's why it stayed the same and it has whatnot. So Yeah, that's what Hillcrest still is. Hillcrest was, 15 years ago? Yeah, 15 years ago, yeah.
So, okay, wait. Enough about Tigerberg now.
Yeah.
So you're living your best life in Spain.
Oh,
Like, I can only imagine. You
Ti amor España.
Yeah. Why did you leave there? I need to know, why did you come back?
Believe me, I'd still be there today if I could have earned a cent's worth of income. Yeah, so after 2 years, the money she dried out, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough.
I had to unfortunately leave Los Hombres and a bunch of it's the Spanish people. Spain is just an absolute pleasure. That's beautiful.
And you've made mates there, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely, lifelong mates. I still chat to them, and what a place, and what the people and the trails. I mean, the trails we used to ride there. There's no manicured, hand cut trails, anything like we got here. It's just you got a trail in the mountains, in the bush, and everyone uses the trail. Your mountain bikers, your enduro motorbikes, your hunters, your athletes, everyone just riding. You go, you're bombing down a trail, and all of a sudden you hear shotgun shot 20 meters away from you. There's I'm trying to shoot a fox in front of you. So you're diving for cover.
You sure you weren't on Fair Cape?
Spain was fantastic, but unfortunately the dream came to an end when I ran out of money and had to head back this way. Yeah.
So then you come home, and the work life's obviously not for you. Or I say work life, the project management behind a laptop, talking the corporate world is not for you. You've learned a little bit about trail building. Where do you go from there?
There was an advert which I picked up from the Tigerbird Mountain Bike Club, advertising the position of a trail builder for the club. When I got back here, and I looked at this, and I said, okay, the salary was ridiculous. Okay, but I came back. I really had nothing to do. I didn't know where I was going or what I was going to do, and I saw this advert and I applied for it. And I went for the interview, and then I heard nothing. I was like, okay, that's gone. And one of the ladies on the committee, the Tigerbird committee, then managed to get hold of me and said, your email address. We can't get hold of your email address. I'd given them the wrong email address.
Okay.
Can you believe it? They confirmed that I got the job.
You're still in Spanish.
Yeah. So I got the job, not knowing really what trail building meant. I didn't know anything or whatnot, but I got the job, thankfully. So, then the whole journey started. I pitched up my first day at Hoogkrol to start the job, and that was in 2012, May 2012. Yeah.
No ways, that's 12 years now.
Yeah. So,
and you obviously, I know I've been out with you a good couple of times now, and we've looked at new trails and new things, and you still love it like it was day one.
No, absolutely, Warren. I always say to myself, a lot of people say, oh, you're getting long in the tooth now. When are you going to cut this? When are you going to retire? When are you going to do that? To me, the day I wake up and I say, I don't feel like this job anymore, that's when I know it's time. But that's a long way away. Yeah.
Don't you think retirement is just a term that people use to put you in a corner and just say, go rest? I mean, if you're enjoying something and you truly enjoy it and physically you're still able to do it, I mean, there should be no reason for you to stop doing it.
No, absolutely. That's what I said. The day I wake up, when I say I don't feel like this or whatnot, believe me, 4:30 every morning, I've got my Siamese cat alarm waking me in the face and whatnot. I wake up and then I just love it. I go from 4:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, basically, and I just love every moment of it. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, what does a typical day look like for a trail builder? So you wake up at 4:30 with the little kitten busy giving you a little bit of a nose scratch.
Indeed.
What's next for you?
Okay. No, then we pick up the trail crew at the noon, pretty early, still extremely dark, and then we get going out on the trails. We program each week. We more or less know what we're doing. Not always, but we more or less know what we're doing in terms of program, what we're going to do, what we're going to achieve during the week. And I've got a trail crew now of 4 guys, the trail building crew that have been with me 10 years each. So they pretty know much what they're about and what to do. Yeah. So I can literally put them out and say, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do today. And I leave them. They can go. My job's changed from the early days in terms of trail building. It's more like project management now with the vast amount of trail network we've got and that type of thing. I've got 5-6 trail crews building at any given time. We got a lot to do. So last time I picked up a spade was quite a while ago.
And the club's got roughly about 188, 190 Ks of trails now.
182 when I was counted. Yeah.
182, 6 teams. You've got your hands full.
Yeah. No, it's especially now in winter, obviously.
Yeah.
That's when, but we get help from subcontractors, all the subcontractors, the Bennetts, the Eugenes, the Ruben Storbecks and that type of thing, helping me out. I'll never be able to do it on my own. It's just impossible. So, but you got to manage those 6 crews and all their problems and their whims and their hassles and their griefs and their logistics and all that type of thing. So it's become a project manager again, but a lot more favorable conditions now. Not construction project management, but trail building project management, which is a jewel.
It's funny that you say Bennett because he's actually coming. I got a message from him last week and he was like, I'm ready to come into the podcast. So we're going to vet everything that you say. Also get some behind the scenes. Because I know you and him have had some interesting adventures, so to speak, over the years. But we'll get to that.
Mr. Nell, I mentioned my first day on the job at Workerkrol, where the then chairman of the club picked me up at the parking lot and said, we just started a new project, the Workerkrol build. We've got a subcontractor we've employed. So I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I went out there and there was Bennett and his crew busy building Beware Alley, believe it or not. That was the first.
Was that the first?
Yeah. My first day on the job, he was busy building Beware Alley, that thing. And I looked at this guy, I rated myself as a serious downhiller and I can ride a bike. After my 2 years in Spain, I got no one rides a bike better than me. And I checked this building and building. And it went on when about after 3 days, he decided, we're going to test ride what is built. Beware Alley. And I said, okay, Bennett, follow me in because I'll leave you in my wake like you can't freaking believe. Yes, I almost bunny hopped over my head to get in there type of thing and whatnot. And I'm going, geez, okay. this guy can ride a bike. So ever since then, Bennett and I have been really, really, really cool, man. Yeah.
Bennett's just a good guy as well. And he's a fantastic trail builder. So it must be awesome to have the Bennetts and the Eugenes and all of these people at your disposal because the club's built some really fantastic trails. I think for me, the one that stands out that I think Bennett built it with you is the Bloemendaler, which is still probably one of the best trails on the network.
It's unique in the sense that it's the only trail we've got on our network, which is in a forest. So the build for that, Bennett built it with a lot of help, obviously, and input from myself. But scouting and building that thing was just fantastic. Bennett and I, building a trail with Bennett and myself is just, we have an absolute jewel. But, not to disregard the other guys, the Eugenes, the Rubens, that type of thing. We have such a jewel. It really is. A nice bunch of guys. We're all like-minded. We're all the same. We could not be stuck in an office. None of us could be. We'd actually die if we were stuck in an office. And it's all about build, and rain, and weather, and build, and that type of thing. But it's so much fun. It absolutely is. I'm blessed. We are all truly blessed,
Are trails getting more technical?
I don't think so, Warren. I think the trend has shifted quite a bit. When we first started building trails in 2012, 2013, 2014, I speak for myself as well, there were 2 sets of riders, basically. There was your gravity riders, your downhillers, okay, and then your marathon riders, okay, and there's a void between them, a gap between them. Okay,
so I think there still is.
But everyone loved the gnarly, rocky, the top of Contamans, the Takais, that type of thing, and we all loved it. But I think it's shifted, basically. People these days, to me, enjoy, there's a demand for what I call a fun trail.
Yeah.
Not a flow trail, but a fun trail a la Bethlehem at Bannock, basically.
So it's still got a little bit of technical, it's still got a little features, it's got a bit of speed, but it's got a bit of everything.
Absolutely. And you get to the bottom, you say, that was fun. I really enjoyed it. So you can, you got your lines, you can do that type of thing. And that's, I think, what people are moving towards. So that's the way I think trail building's got to evolve to. It's fun trails because it melts everyone together into what everyone likes, that type of thing.
You can make it as technical as
Yeah.
fast as you want to do.
Yeah.
You can kind of roll, if you're a newbie, just roll down everything.
Absolutely. I still believe in the 0 to 100 percent sort of phenomenon of mine where, you got from 0% to 20%, you've got your green riders, your newbies, basically. So you build 20% of your trails for them. Between 20 and 80% is what we call blue intermediate fun rides. That's where the bulk of riding comes from. And that's what people like, fun trails.
Yeah.
And then from 80% up to 100%, you have your gravity riders, the guys that like the gnaw and the gnarly stuff that happens. So there's still a space for everyone. But to me, the trend is towards your fun intermediate trails.
Makes complete sense. E-bikes.
Yeah.
It's obviously, it's changed the way you can do your job,
Absolutely.
but it's also changed the way you ride.
Yeah.
Good or bad?
No, I love it. I love e-bikes. No, and
Because there's been a trend. So I remember I started riding about 7-8 years ago, which was around the corner. I don't have a long history with the sport. And I went to e-bikes because Melissa got an awesome opportunity to get an e-bike. I didn't have one. We did a lot of riding together. We joined you guys for your Sunday ride. So Patrick does a Sunday ride with his crew. And it was so interesting to see the change, because I think when I started, there were like 7 e-bikes.
Yeah.
Majority
Absolutely.
normal analog bikes. Yeah. And I think now it's gone to like 2 analog bikes and the rest of them are all on e-bikes.
What's an analog bike? We call them Amish bikes.
Or Amish bikes. Sorry. Me bikes, pedal bikes.
No,
yes,
I forget. I got my first e-bike. When did I get it? Julian from Giant sponsored it for me in 2018.
Wow.
I climbed on this thing. And you mentioned our Sunday group that we ride with. I think there's about 60 people on the group that ride or whatnot. And I was the first one to ride an e-bike. And I ride at the Sunday morning ride was e-bike, and I was going, what's that? You idiot. I said, 5 years' time, you'll all be on e-bikes. Okay? It's now literally 5 years'
I
time.
remember you saying that.
Yeah, 5 years' time. And our group basically is 95% e-bikes, basically. Yeah. And everyone just has so much fun. I mean, that's a key to it. I think there's a definite place for e-bikes. Not to saying we won't diss Amish bikes, because there's still a place for that as well. But I think e-bikes are certainly the future. I mean, I think we've all been the same. I'm going to get myself an e-bike, my Amish bike. I'm going to keep it in reserve for the fitness, and it's going to hang up there, and I'm going to use it for fitness.
Never gets used.
They're all gone. Yeah.
I think there's only, to my knowledge, there's only one person still riding an Amish bike, and that's Mike Castley. So he's the last one we need to win over.
Bless his soul, Mr. Castley. Yeah, he will hang on until the very end.
De-restricted e-bikes.
That's a swear word.
I know that it's something that a lot of people chat about, and I can understand why it's a bad thing. For me, it doesn't make sense, because the fact that you're already getting so much assistance, how much more assistance do you need? Yeah. But what is it about de-restricted e-bikes that you think is not good for trails? I just want to kind of just get this out there, and just so that we can have a chat around
I
it.
chat a lot amongst the trail builders. We all chat amongst that. And I think we're all in agreement that de-restricted e-bikes are a bit of a problem. It's literally like riding a motorbike on a trail.
Yeah.
That's a fundamental problem. I mean, you get governors, restrictors for a reason. They're built into all the factory bikes, basically. For a reason. It's safety, obviously, and it's to look after trails. I mean, if you've got riding a motorbike on a mountain bike trail, especially going uphill, creating marks, that type of thing. So I don't want to create I just don't understand why people want to do that. When you got an e-bike, it's got all the assistance you need. But that's quite I don't want to open up a Pandora's box here.
I had to ask the question.
But amongst us trail builders, de-restricted e-bikes are an issue. We need to talk about it. Okay, we need to put it out there, and we need to talk about it. and see, try and get to a solution, especially on the trails. De-restricted e-bikes, and then obviously gravel bikes on a trail.
So that was my next question. Like, I know in some of the best trails in Canada, they don't allow e-bikes, period, onto trails. They don't allow gravel bikes. Do we allow gravel bikes on our trails?
Technically, at the moment, they are allowed. There's no regulation against them, but it's just those thin wheels, unfortunately, on the trails that cause serious amount of damage to trails. So between a de-restricted e-bike and the power and the grunt, and then the gravel bike with the thin little tires, they're not good for trails. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, cool. And obviously, so that's just for the going up, going down kind of thing. For flats, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do
no, absolutely. No, we're talking about hand-built manicured trails, berms, that type of thing, whatnot. Especially when they get a little bit wet. To have a combination of those two is
well, I suppose that goes hand in hand with. Patrick calls it the back brake brigade.
Triple B, yeah.
The triple B. Yeah. I suppose it goes hand in hand with that. It's the same sort of thing where you're just putting unnecessary force into corners.
Yeah.
And
I think we've gone through it all. It started with the BBB, back brake brigade, and then Strava lines, then Enduro lines, now de-restricted motors. So I've had my world full of it. But anyhow, it's fun.
You are getting like all the stress that you had sitting behind a laptop, it's now making it's 180 degree coming back again.
Stress I can handle, no problem. No problem at all. Yeah.
Anything exciting on the cards? I know that you obviously want to push the boundaries a little bit with trail building. Winters, I know you do these rain dances every year in your leotard, and I mean
my leopard skin leotard, which is manufactured for me by the Bush Barbie, basically. Yeah.
There we go. So you wait for these rains to come. The rains are here now. What happens once it starts raining? I mean, is it new builds? Is it maintenance? Like, I just want to explain to the listeners out there, like, this is kind of what you guys focus on when the rains arrive, the much anticipated rains.
Yeah, look, when we've got a very short window in terms of trail building and maintenance, when the ground and soil is wet enough to build and maintain, which is literally, well, shifting every year. It used to be around from April through to July, mid-July. It's now starting, well, we got our first decent rains this year in July. So it's probably going to shift out until whenever. But we've got about 3 months in terms of what we got to do in terms of new builds and maintenance. And it's hard work. But when you get the weather we've had the last year and this year in terms of the amount of rain and volumes of rain we've had, where stormwater damage becomes an issue rather than trying to build and maintain all that type of thing. So you get the added hassle of stormwater damage. And believe me, our trails have taken a hammering in the past 2 years in terms of stormwater damage. We just washaways, that type of thing. So it's an added pressure on it. So it's something you can't plan for either. We generally do plan our winter builds quite meticulously, but stormwater damage you can't do. So now we're stuck with stormwater damage, trying to maintain, trying to build new trails, all that type of thing. But it's lekker. And we have some. You asked the question in terms of what's coming. On our network, we've got some nice plans in store. We've got some nice new pods of land opening up, and it's an ongoing process. So we're going to expand, obviously next year, if all things are equal.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff, some new stuff coming up, whatnot, and it's ever evolving, and it's pretty exciting.
What goes into a new build? I mean, is it your idea? Is it someone that comes to you with an idea? Or like, can someone out there go, I've got an idea for a trail? I mean, I don't know. What is the process behind a new build?
In terms of Tygerberg Mountain Bike Club, we're a bit restricted, unlike Jonkershoek or in this place where you've got endless amounts of land and you can do whatever. Basically, in our valley, we get a farmer coming to us and say, okay, that's a copy for you. You can that's gaan bou. Okay, so you look at the copy and say, okay, what do I do with this copy? What type of thing? So you're not spoiled for choices, but it's just your creative mind, basically. You look at a piece of land and you say, okay, what can I build? What do I want to build? Yeah, and you envisage it, basically, what you want to build, who you're catering for. And from there on, it's just basically in your mind. You visage, and when you're building the new trail, you walk. You walk and you walk and you walk and you walk and you walk up and down, up and down, up and down. You pace, walk, Google Earth, walk, that type of thing until you've got the basics in your mind. And then obviously once you start building, it changes on a daily basis. As you come across, you dig, you come across rocks, you dig, you come across this obstacle, that obstacle. So the whole thing changes on a daily basis. So it's not science. It's not textbook by any stretch of imagination. It's just basically using your imagination and using what you want to do and your feel for it, in essence. So I was literally taught by Bennett Nell in terms of what I need to do. And you have a good teacher and you learn from him. And that's the fun of it. It's creative. So it's a creative thinking.
What is, like, when does it go from hand building to machine building? Like, is there a cutover point, or do you just hand build, or do you just use machines, or?
Yeah, that's obviously the new debate amongst trail builders is machine versus man.
Yeah.
And my mate Bennett, you mentioned the word machine. He starts hyperventilating. So he's old school still, and determined to do it by hand. I think there's room for both. Okay. I mean, machine builds quicker, bigger, higher, bigger, quicker, everything, obviously. So if you're building a flow line when you want large stuff, large obstacles, then machine. But if you're on the top of a mountain, you're coming down and you've got restricted areas, that type of thing, it's hand built. So it's a blend between both. So I think there's scope for both, and that's the way we need to go forward in terms of trail building. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. The other thing I need to ask: snakes. You guys have had your fair share of run-ins with wildlife.
You won't believe it, Warren. And I'm touching wood here. Okay. This summer, the last summer, before this winter, I did not see one snake.
You are kidding me.
One snake on our trails. Yet you get
Bennett's had his fair share.
Bennett in the middle of winter, was it 2 weeks ago down at Velvergenoeg, has got this cobra just staring at him by his kneecap here, going, I want to bite you, but it was too cold to bite him, so I couldn't bite him. I was petrified of snakes when I started, but I've got used to them. Not one single, to my knowledge, on the Tiger mountain bike clubs, not one single cyclist or rider has ever been bitten by a snake. So they run away a million miles before you can get there. Obviously, puff adders are the real threat because they're lazy and they don't run away. But we don't have had all that many puffies in our area. Touch wood again. But no, snakes are not a hassle for me. They don't stress me out. No.
And I know that you love birds.
Yes.
So you must be in your element out
Absolutely. there. Absolutely. No, the wildlife we got out, even here in the Durbanville Hills, I mean, it's ridiculous what we've got out there in terms of wildlife. Birds, the raptors, not even the raptors, all of the variety we've got here. I love birds, and we got them all here. We even got fish eagles, believe it or not, hovering above Hoogkraal. From fish eagles to everything in terms of raptors. And then, of course, we got, just 2 weeks ago, I saw a couple of bat-eared foxes at the top of Hoogkraal.
You're kidding?
No, just lovely. Obviously, caracals, roy cuts, we got plenty of them. We had a massive, I think I showed everyone just last week, 2 weeks ago, Bloemendal XEO, a massive battle to the death between a roy-cut caracal and a polecat. Basically, both died. We had to bury them. Both died fighting. So it's the wildlife we got is on our trails incredible, and I just love it.
And your reindeer.
Takbok,
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, takbok is a reindeer, basically. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because we see them at the back of at the back of Hoogkraal. They're down at the bottom. Sometimes.
No, they're prolific. They probably get too prolific. Unfortunately, they do quite a bit of damage to the farms. So the local farmers tend to keep their numbers in control.
Okay. More damage than your...
Don't mention it.
Your less furry friends.
Them bovine creatures, yeah.
So Patrick's got a serious... Actually, it's not even a love-hate. It's just a hate relationship with the cows on the Tigerberg network. I mean, they really do keep you busy.
They're the biggest menace on our trails. of them all. No, they really are. Obviously, we build our trails for working farms, so unfortunately we have to deal with cars. We can't. It was up to me. Sorry for the yell. The huggers, but I'd love to put a bullet through. No, I didn't say that. So we just got to accept them, but they do damage like you can't believe. Just the recent rains we had now down at Hoogekral, we had a big mudslide at the Hammer. Huge one. And on top of the mudslide, the mud slid down. Then on top of that, those freaking cars got in there as well. On top of the mudslide and started. So between the mudslide and the cars, you want to see what the trail looks like. So I think we'll probably open it in December in 2 years' time after the damage.
So it's really bad.
Yeah, no, cars. Oof, no, let's not go there. You're upsetting my night.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I take it all back. Just concentrate on the pizza we had earlier.
And the wine.
And the wine. Also, we are not doing beer tonight. We're doing wine. Patrick has a palate for a good
I got Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Indeed.
So I think I've got my wine selection right for you this evening.
Perfect. Well done.
Okay, lovely. But yeah, Patrick, thank you so much for joining us. We wanted to, for us, it's important for us to highlight the people that are doing the good work and fighting the fight for us riders. And the idea for this podcast was always to provide a platform for people or for us to highlight people that are doing good work in the industry. And how we feel about you. Patrick, I do a little video with Patrick every couple of weeks, and I always say Patrick is our famous Sevende Line star. He does this, he gets up in the mornings, he recites his lines in the shower, and then he gets in front of the camera and nothing can faze this man. And it's pretty much the same with his trail building. It's like you guys have really smashed it out of the park, and we're super grateful for the amount of work that you put into what you do. And it doesn't go unnoticed. And I think that's what I just hope people are listening in, because it will give people an idea of what goes into this trail building thing. It's not just you get up in the morning and you dig a hole and off you go. There's a lot that goes into it. And yeah, thank you.
No, thank you, Warren, and thanks for the platform, and obviously, likewise, the work you and Melissa are doing in terms of the sport. It's all about passion.
Yeah.
You guys have got passion. I've got passion.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it, and we don't always get it right. We do a lot of things wrong, that type of thing. But the passion's there, and to me, what keeps me going, basically, in this job, it's not a glamorous job. I can assure you. It's hard work, working tough conditions, and it's not an easy job by any stretch of the imagination. But what keeps me going is just the smiles on people's faces when you pass them, when they pass you, basically. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, thank you. And to see those smiles, that's what does it for me. And it's all about the passion. And so long as the passion is there, the sport will carry on growing, and long may it grow. But no, thank you so much. It's been lekker chatting to you.
Thank you. And thank you for coming on. I'm sure rumor has it that there is a certain cycling event that is coming through our neighborhood next year. But we're going to get you back on at a later point in time, and we can actually talk about it. And I'm sure people out there will be really excited to know what's coming. But I think, if I can give anyone some advice, just go have a look at the Patrick's Pen videos, which are on the Tigerberg YouTube channel. Patrick gives a little update to the trail networks and the new stuff that's happening and the new trails that's been built. It's all there. So maybe just, go as a start, go follow that. There's some really exciting news coming, and I think that will probably be the first place you're going to hear about it. So Patrick, I won't give too much away now.
No, we're holding thumbs. We're working on a lot of things, and hopefully there's good news fairly shortly for all involved. In our club and whatnot. Yeah. So it's all positive stuff, all lekker stuff. And we continue trying to make it better.
Yeah, I think we're all doing that. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys. And thank you for tuning in for another episode. We'll catch you for the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.